We're now going to create an upright for our gear system to hold the gears up so that they can actually rotate freely without impeding or impacting on any other part. In order to do this, you don't have to strictly follow the dimensions I give you here on the video. Having said that, where it joins into the base, so the joint along the bottom, which is going to be a finger joint, needs to be pretty much exactly the same. So I need you to work on that or think about how you're going to join it to the base. But apart from that, your main objective is to show off the inner workings of a gear system, so you don't want to hide your gears away. So basically, the first thing I'm going to do is create a offset plane. The offset plane, basically, I'm going to hit capture position, is going to offset the big spur. By the way, if you press on the little spur, you'll notice that it's actually at a strange angle. You probably don't want that. That's because I rotated that one, and it's using that as a plane. So I'm going to press on the big spur to get my offset angle. Now my offset angle is going to be a certain size. I'm going to hit cancel at this point, and I'm going to go modify, and I'm going to change parameters, and this is where we're talking about parametric design. I'm going to press on the plus here and create my main material. There's no spaces in this, but my main material is going to be in millimeters, and it is going to be 3 millimeters for the start. That could be end up being 2.8 millimeters or 3.2 millimeters, but basically we're going to go with 3 millimeters. So basically we're going to use that parameter. So basically we're going to go again, construct offset plane, capture the position on here, and our distance is going to be M for main material, but it's going to be a little bit more than that because we need to be able to put a washer between the upright and the gear system, the gear, so that it doesn't actually wobble too much, but we need to put a bit of spacing around that. So we're going to use a plus 0.2 millimeters. Okay, so that parameter is going to stick off 3.2 millimeters at the moment from the gear. Now we're going to create a sketch on that surface. So on that plane that we just created, we're going to create our sketch. And you'll notice it doesn't really line me up very well, so I'm going to move that up here. And I'm just basically going to draw a rectangle. Now my rectangle is going to have certain distances that I want to be away from these middle bits. Now these holes in the middle aren't going to be final. They're going to be much bigger. In fact, they're going to be 10 mils big. Excuse me. So basically, I'm going to set some parameters or some distances away from here. So I'm going to use the dimension tool to click on this point here, and from this point here, and I'm going to make it to be 15 millimeters. You could make it more than that, but I wouldn't make it less than that. You could make it fill up the whole space, or you can make it a different shape, but I would try and keep it about 15 millimeters away, just for the need of strength. So I'm now going to go 15 millimeters from the top as well. And you can see I can't really select this one, so I need to project this little sketch here onto my actual sketch so that I can use those dimensions, which is going to be a little bit annoying. Maybe Control Z, I should go project and just project that dot there rather than projecting the whole sketch. That is much better. Now I can use that dimension as well, also to be 15 away from here. Obviously I don't need to do this one here for 15 because it's already set. And I might want to also use the dimension of this line here and this distance here. And if I want it to be 5 millimeters above the top of my base, I can use main material plus 5. So it's now going to be the material thickness plus 5. And you'll notice it puts a little FX there on that thing so that you know that it's driven by a function, which basically means it's driven by a parameter. Now that I've got that size, I can finish my sketch. And basically I've got my object there. I can now extrude or press pull it out by my main material thickness. And that's pulled it out 3 millimeters. So I now have my upright or my my upright for my particular thing. I need to now change it or label the body. So let's go into bodies and call it an upright. Press enter. And now I can use that upright function. I'm going to cut the finger joint in right now so that I don't forget to do it later. So I'm basically going to create a sketch on the upright itself. And I'm going to use a rectangle. The rectangle I'm just going to draw here, and I'll do the dimensions in a second. So now I'm going to do the dimensions. D for dimension on this one. Let's make that a 6 millimeters. This one here, this dimension here between here and here, so the dimension between these two lines is going to be the main material thickness. I'm now going to use the create rectangular pattern to basically select, double click on to select all of 4 of them. So I've now got 4 selected. I'm going to pull this across until it lines up perfectly over here. And then I'm going to increase the number until it looks like it's going to be a nice strong finger joint. Probably 6 will be good for me. And I'm going to press OK to accept those. And now I'm going to go finish sketch. I'm now going to go modify again, press pull, and I'm going to select all of those ones down there. And I'm going to go negative main material. Okay, so that's basically going to set up my distance for pulling that finger joint through. I'm now set for my upright to be acceptable, and it will work nicely for me, I think.